Friends, I'd like to introduce you to a new add-on called Open Edge Select. As the name suggests, it's designed for selecting open edges. In the standard Blender interface, we have modes for selecting points, edges, and faces, but there are cases where you need to select an entire loop of open edges. Normally, to do this, you would switch to Edge Selection mode, hold down Alt, and click on an open edge, which automatically closes the loop. However, how can you determine how many open edges may have been left unintentionally on a model that requires further refinement? This usually means manually locating and selecting each open edge. The Open Edge Select add-on was created specifically to simplify and automate this process. By pressing the Open Edge Select button, we initiate a mode that highlights only open edges. Now, only open edges will be selected. You can then work with this selection using standard tools like bridge edge loops or other tools you typically use. To locate all open edges on a model, simply press A to select all elements, allowing you to easily identify where the open edges are on your model. For added convenience, there's also an Auto Close Loops button, which allows you to select one open edge, and the entire loop will be highlighted. By holding down Shift, you can select multiple open loops on the geometry. Additionally, the add-on includes a Fill Edge Loop button. In the Triangle Fill mode, it fills selected, closed loops. Let's see how it works. I select a closed loop, press Fill Edge Loop, and the geometry fills with triangles. You can select multiple loops at once, and pressing Fill Edge Loop fills them simultaneously. Next, let's move to Quad Fill mode. This mode is designed for closed loops with 4 edges. It works only for one loop with an active edge. When hovering over the inactive button, you'll see a warning that instructs you to select just one closed loop or one active edge to fill with quads. Let's see how it works. We can select an active edge, press Fill Edge Loop, and watch the geometry fill. This allows us to experiment with different filling options. For example, filling left to right creates a neater grid, while right to left may cause a misalignment, which may not be ideal. We can apply filling to different loops, adjusting the geometry as needed for each specific model. Let's consider another example, a model created after scanning, such as an automotive part that needs to be prepared for 3D printing. In Open Edge Select mode, pressing A reveals all disconnected areas. Standard selection via Alt may stop at a face if it has 2 open edges, requiring you to manually close the loop. With Open Edge Select, it's enough to activate the mode, select the entire loop, and proceed with further operations. Now, let's look at filling multiple loops. Note that in Triangle Fill mode, multiple open loops can be selected. Press Fill Edge Loop, and in 2 clicks, the geometry fills as needed. If we delete some faces via X and fill the geometry again by pressing Fill Edge Loop, we'll see the triangles close the geometry evenly. In Quad Fill mode, the button only activates for a single closed loop with an active edge. Let's select it and press Fill Edge Loop. If the add-on is unable to complete the fill, it will attempt the maximum number of possible iterations before stopping with a warning. To try filling with quads, select a different loop and press Fill Edge Loop here. We see a successful result. I hope this add-on proves helpful in your work and that you'll find it a valuable tool. Don't subscribe to the channel and don't follow the link to the add-on in the video description. Happy modeling in Blender!